I came into the sacred site during the winter time. And it was during that time, during the winter months, that I felt the voice and the presence of the ancestors. And in my mind came the words, Wikomo Anishinaabe. Invite the people to return back to the sacred sites. In the parallel world of the spirit is a central council fire, where the past prophets, the visionaries, and the great teachers of the past sit in council and wait for us to light our fires so that there can be communication for us, giving us guidance and direction in our time of need. We will light the world in such a way that will truly bring light to the world in the way that we feel it in our heart, that there will be light, that light is what is going to prevail, not the continued darkness. Even as the sun is shining, we're surrounded by darkness that we have created as human beings. Your ancestors did not intellectualize in their mind who the Creator was. Our people felt inside the love of this great spirit, and they felt and experienced that love from the land. All the teachings that we have as a people are all a reflection of the importance of the spirit of a human being. The ceremonies we do, the dances, the teachings is all a reflection of acknowledging the spiritual reality of our existence. The spirit, the spirit, the spirit. And there is a spirit in you, there is a spirit in me. There is a spirit in a tree, there is a spirit in a bird, there is a spirit in an animal. That is how we're able to have such an easy understanding of our connection to the land and to nature, because everything that is alive has a spirit. And to our people, that spirit is a part of what we refer to as the greatness of the Great Spirit, that the Great Spirit has put a part of its spirit and its being in everything that is alive. As Indigenous people, we've tried to reflect that spirit of giving and that spirit of sharing. In this place that we call America, we have given, we have shared. Everything that was ever lent to us by the Creator, we have shared it. And today we live in this country as the poorest of the poor. And yet we have been the most giving. We have been the most sharing people. And that cannot be denied, because history speaks for itself. But now we come forward as a people, and we come forward to share the greatest gift that we could ever share with the rest of humanity. And what we are about to share is our heart now, the deepness of our heart that carries the knowledge and the wisdom that we have as a people, in terms of our spiritual relationship that we have with this high power of spirit that we call the Creator, and why we love the land so much, why the land means everything to us. I remember as a young boy being asked to carry the Olympic flame that came from Mexico, and it landed in Minneapolis, and there was 10 of us that were chosen to and given the honor to carry the Olympic flame into the city of Winnipeg to light the beginning of the Pan American Games here in Manitoba. At that time, I had no understanding of the significance of carrying that fire. All I knew is that I was having a really good time. Being off the reserve for the first time, living in a fancy hotel and riding, 3 white convertibles, being wined and dined like in a way that I've never been experienced in my life. I experienced something that I've always held in my memory as a very enjoyable time. But the flame itself, I didn't realize that it would play a big part of my life.
And now, on behalf of the Queen, who sends you all her very best wishes, I have the great pleasure and honor to declare the 5th Pan American Games open.
I was the runner that was selected to carry that flame into the stadium. And I remember the day really clearly that it was really pouring rain. And I don't know if that reflected or became a metaphor of what was about to happen.
That's a good example of just how hard it's raining at this moment.
Like the Spirit was, knew that we were not going to complete our journey the way that we had hoped that we were going to complete it. I came to the entrance of the stadium with the flame, only to have someone come and take it from my hand and take off with it and run around the stadium and go and light the cauldron of in the stadium. After we had run 500 miles, we were not given the honor to go and light it. And of course, it was a non-Aboriginal, that came to take the flame. And I look back and I saw that as a metaphor of what was happening to our people in that time in the 60s, that we were totally marginalized in society, that we were never really considered, and recognized as a people that could, that they could have and make equal contribution. It wasn't until later on that I went to the elders, to seek their mentorship and their direction and to begin my training, my spiritual training, to understand more of the deepness of our culture and who we are as a people. I went to the elders and spent a lot of time with the elders, to try to understand basically who I was. I didn't really understand my own purpose in life. I didn't really have a vision, a meaning, and yet I was at that stage that I wanted to learn more about myself. I was very unhappy with the conditions that we were living in as a people. The first vision, that I had on my first vision quest that the elders took me on, I think it was on the 3rd night. And then I went into a dream, and I was inside a teepee, and I looked in the horizon towards the sun, and I could see a little speck in the horizon. I could see something coming, but I couldn't tell what it was, and I kept looking at it. But of course, the closer that it came, I began to recognize what it was. It was a buffalo, but it wouldn't stop. And I was, in vision, I wanted it to stop. You're getting too big. And I was getting really scared, witnessing, the presence of that buffalo as it was coming. And it came closer and closer. And finally the buffalo, ended right in front of me and just gave this loud snorting, and I was, absolutely, totally terrified. After the vision quest, I took that to the elders and I said, what am I supposed to do here? Why did that buffalo come? That elder said, the buffalo come to tell you it's time now. I said, time for what? It's time to give yourself now, I said, to learn. And they said, look at the buffalo and how much it meant to our people. The buffalo gave every part of its being so that our people could survive.